Okay, so can you guys see up in the upper left-hand corner, you should see a little red light on that indicates that I'm recording.
Yes,
I
it's
got
on.
I got to try to remember to smile once I start the recording because if I don't, the recordings look they're really awful. So I'm gonna try to remember to do that. If you look over on the right-hand side, like sort of on your menu for Blackboard Collaborate, down at the bottom, you should see things that look like, uh, there's one that looks like this, and then there's one that looks like this. You won't need to use that. That's to share files, and you won't do that. Um, the settings, there's a little wheel looking thing like this. That's for settings, and that may be I don't know if you have settings or not. Another thing that you can do is when you see if you can see the attendees, like I don't know if you guys can see everybody that's in the session, but when you have the list of attendees, there'll be a little circle up here with 3 dots with an ellipsis in it. And if you're getting notifications, like anytime somebody enters or leaves a room and it's really annoying, there's a way to switch that. And there's also, you can, that may be under settings too. So you might want to play around, especially while I'm just talking about the class, and if it's something you already know. But you can only play around with this while we're having a live session. So you might look at the different settings that you have. This is your chat bubble here. Has a little, oh yeah, it has a little thing like this. So this is a chat bubble. And if you click on that, you can enter a question. And I can only see them though if I've clicked on that. So I'm going to click on that. Okay. So if someone were to say something here, does everybody see that? Hi. Okay, so anyway, if you're annoyed by notifications, that's either under settings, and if you don't want to see the list of attendees, you can click on this and tell it to merge them. There, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but you can get rid of the list of people so that all you see is the screen as big as possible. Okay, I think I'm ready to start. That's just a few things about Blackboard Collaborate. If there's any questions you have or you want to find out, is it possible for me to do this or whatever, then raise your hand or something, and hopefully I'll notice and get back with you. Okay, so while I'm talking though, I need everybody to turn off their mics because in Blackboard Collaborate, if people have their microphones on, it can cause feedback, which will make me sound like a chipmunk to some of you, or you'll hear an echo for everything I say. So I have one caller here that's not identified. It says caller 1616. If you can hear me, let me see if it'll let me turn off your mic. I'm not sure if it will or not. So bear with me for a second, guys. Okay, I took care of it. All right, let's get started. This is elementary statistics, and this is the co-requisite version of elementary statistics, which only means that the classes are a little longer so that we can spend time working on skills that you need, basic math skills that you need in order to be successful in this course. Now for today, we're going to go over some basic things about the course, and I don't know how much of it I'll get through, but the way I'm going to do the class, if you looked in, if you already looked at the ICR, you would have seen this. But we will have class from 8:30, and actually, I don't remember what I went to. So I think we might just go to my ICR and look at that right now. So let's look at my ICR. And you can find this ICR anytime by going to Blackboard and clicking on the syllabus ICR, or you can go to your class schedule, and that's where you'll see the most updated one, because I have to create a PDF to put it in Blackboard. But the one that you'll find on your class schedule, if you click on the class there in Web Advisor, that one will be the most updated. So if I've changed anything, like I've adjusted my office hours or I've changed the class time or anything like that, that will be updated if you go to the ICR or click on the class in your class schedule. So to see the ICR, you would go to Web Advisor, to the student menu for this semester. And I believe it's down several things, like it's under, I think it's under register for classes or something like that. And then you'll see my class schedule. When you click on your class schedule, you should see all the classes in which you are enrolled. The names of the classes should be links, and when you click on them, it will go to the ICR. So each class is a link that will show you the ICR, which is the same thing as the syllabus, the instructor's class requirements. So I downloaded that before class started today. Sorry, that probably jiggled. So just to let you know, sometimes I have a thing that's holding my camera, my screen up, and so if it gets jiggly, that's probably because I kicked the chair that it's attached to. So I apologize for the jiggliness. So let's go to, I'm going to go to my ICR. And this is the first page of the ICR. Is it Kendra or Kundra? Do you have a question, Tarver? Okay. So while we're on this page, it may look really tiny to you. If you've never used Blackboard Collaborate before, then you can go over to the left-hand corner, like underneath where the red dot is, and you'll see a thing that looks something like this, and it has that's a magnifying glass. And if you click on that, then you can enlarge your view of this. And in fact, I'm going to enlarge mine because it's hard for me to see. Now, when I enlarge mine, it does not enlarge your view. You have to do that yourself, unfortunately. So that means if you watch the recording later, you're not going to see an enlarged view. You're going to see the small view. Okay, so let's see. So this is my basic information here, and if I'm still big on your screen, then you want to toggle back to that thing. Someone told me there's something where it says follow the instructor. You need to unfollow the instructor so that you can see this ICR. I'm going to take this off. So what you'll see there is my basic information. And if you see this phone number here, can everybody see what I'm doing now? Did it just show that I circled my phone number on here?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback, guys. And it says where my office is, but of course I won't be in my office. I'm actually not allowed in my office right now. And then these office hours, all of this stuff right here, guys, are my office hours. And what that means is times outside of class when I will be available. And usually I'm available through a Blackboard Collaborate session. So there will be a link, an office hour link. I haven't made it yet, but the way you went to online class meetings today and you chose this session, there will be one that says office hours. And so I will have different ones. I'll have a recurring one on Monday, Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30. Although I didn't do that today, I probably won't start this week. I'll probably start it next week. And then 1 to 4 on Monday and Wednesdays, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 to 4. So those office hour sessions will be listed along with the online class meetings. And so you would just click on it if you wanted to talk to me then. You can also call that phone number at the top, and that will ring on my computer. Okay, the second page. This is the second page, and this has a lot of information about student accessibility resources, campus carry, which isn't a thing because we're not on campus, course evaluation, Title IX, and I just did that with my finger. I didn't mean to. So that's a lot of information about that. So I'm going to go on to page 3. Please, is a great idea for you to print off the ICR and read it when you have time to really look at it. So here is the information about the textbook that's required. I actually don't require you to buy a book, but you are required to purchase my Stat Lab. So, and this program will come with an ebook. If this is not the first time you've taken this course, you won't have to pay again if you purchased a more than one semester account previously. If you only purchased a one semester account previously, then you will have to buy another code. And my course ID is right here. You're going to need that in order to sign into my math lab. If you've never used my math lab or my stat lab, then I've given you information here on how to do that, these steps below. You can get 14-day free access with my stat lab unless, guys, if you have taken this course before and you're buying another code, if you used the 14-day free access previously, it will not let you use it again. Does anybody have a question about that? Okay. Be sure and click off of that follow the instructor thing because I'm holding this really close right now. Okay, page 4. Okay, this is going to be a little bit different than before because we're online. So notice it says you have to have internet access and you have to have a webcam and audio capability. If you don't have that right now, that's okay, but you're going to need it before the first test. So if you do not have a webcam or audio capability, you will need to contact TCC. They will provide those things for you, and I have that information down on this same page. So if you look at right here, if you need any software like PowerPoint, Word, etc., then you go to this website. And if you need any hardware like a Chromebook, I don't know what they do about hotspots. I'm not sure about that, but that is a thing they can do. Webcams or microphones, then you're going to go to this place here. Crystal, you didn't have to, your message came up. That worked pretty well. You did not have to buy the book, I put that on here. If you haven't opened it yet, you can still return it. All you have to have is my stat lab. Now, some people like to have a book, but the ebook comes with my stat lab. If you haven't yet opened that loose leaf book, then you could return it. If you're okay with looking at the book online, that would be kind of up to you. So The next thing, so my stat lab is required, comes with an ebook. I suggest, of course, I don't know if you're going to use a folder with pockets or not, but I really suggest that you get a folder with pockets so that you can keep your tables and your formula sheets and handouts and allow you to use on tests. You will need a scientific calculator, and here's some, especially this one, the TI 83 or 84 that's a graphing calculator. You don't really have to have that, and they're pretty expensive. Well, if you go on eBay, you can probably get one pretty cheap. But this one here is only should be no more than $15 if you don't have a good calculator. And let's see. Okay, so that's all of page 4. Any questions about that? Great. Let's look at page 5. Okay, so page 5 talks about the focus of the course. You guys are also enrolled in 0142. There are no separate assignments for the COREC for 0142. Basically, if you make an A, B, or C in 1342, you automatically get credit for 0142. And if you make a D or an F, you don't get credit for it, which the reason for that is so that the system will allow you to sign up for a COREC again. Because if you once you get credit for COREC, it's not going to let you sign up for it. Excuse me, if you're watching me, I'm just moving my chair so I can work at a desk instead of, okay, so, and sorry about that. All right. Let's go down here to requirements. And okay, so do you see there, does everybody see the class time? So from 10:30 to 11:30, we're going to have class like this, live. Then we'll take a break at 11:30. I found out when I'm doing professional development online that it is really hard to pay attention for very long when you're watching somebody online. So I'm gonna try to keep that in mind. Let me make sure. Okay. And let's see. Hold on just a second. Okay. So, all right. Sorry. So we'll have a break from 11:30 to 12, and then from 12 to 12:30, we'll come back and have 30 minutes more of class. And during that second part of class, we'll just finish up anything I wasn't able to finish in the first hour. We'll go over questions. Generally, I will start class with...
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Yes. Just one second. This is the interpreter speaking for one of
Okay.
your students. Just one moment. Hi, yes, yes, so sorry about that. Okay, yeah, so my name is Kundra, and last name is Taylor, or sorry, Tarver. So I was wondering how I'm supposed to get your attention because the interpreter is not connected through the computer. They're connected through like my phone, and so I'm having to speak through an interpreter. So I'm wondering how to get your attention the way like how that's supposed to work in this system.
You can raise your hand, and I see that your hand is raised now, but you just need to make sure that you only have it raised when you need me to answer a question. Okay, so I can lower your hand, so I just lowered your hand, Kendra. So,
Okay.
and this, okay, and I have is not muted, and I don't know if that is the student you're working with or not. But I'm
So
going to have,
so this
I
is
need
the
you.
interpreter speaking. It's a little bit complicated because the interpreter can't see the computer. We're in a separate location. So I have no access to what everyone sees. And so if you're trying to communicate that way, only the student sees that.
Okay. I'm not sure. Kundra, let's during the break today at 11:30. Let's get together and talk then, okay? And we'll see what we can figure out. For right now, what I'm doing is I'm going over the ICR, which is in printed form and it is available on Blackboard, and the student will be able to read everything that I'm saying. Does that help?
So I read the ICR, but my problem is that I'm not sure about certain days or why. Sorry, just one second.
Can we talk? Can I go over all that with you during the break instead of taking up the time with everybody else for right now? Is that okay?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
glad to go
fine.
over it
Yep,
with you.
yep,
This is
sure. Okay. Yep. Yep, not a problem.
I'd be happy to go over that. So let's plan on talking about that at 11. Okay. So we will have class every Monday and Wednesday from 10:30 to 11:30. We will have a break from 11:30 to 12, during which you can get a snack, go to the bathroom, whatever. And then from 12 to 12:30, we'll finish up. And then let's talk about what you need to do to get counted present. Now, this is not going to be as big of a deal. I'm going to tell you up front, I'm not going to drop anybody. That means if you decide you need to not be in the course, you are going to be responsible for dropping yourself. Now, that doesn't mean I'm counting everybody present all the time. I will check roll. And I will count you present. There are different ways to be counted present. To be counted present, if you come to one of the live recordings, I will count you present, or partially present. PA is partially present, but the system will think it's present. And if you come to one or both sessions, so you'll be present if you come to both, and you'll be partially present if you come to one or part of one. And then if you complete the homework assignment, like today we're doing the chapter 1 skills review, if you complete that before the next class time, and by complete I mean spend a reasonable amount of time on it and get it mostly done. So maybe somewhere, and I'm going to reserve the right to look at and determine whether or not you did enough to count as being present. But for the most part, if you put some time into the assignment, say an hour or two, and you've completed most of it, more than 50%, I will probably count you present, or I will contact you if I feel like you haven't done enough. Okay, let's go to the next page of the ICR. This shows how I'm going to count the grades. So the average of we're going to have unit tests. Those will all be proctored. It says most, but they're actually all going to be proctored by Proctorio. We'll talk more about that when we get close to a test. The average of the 3 best tests will count 40% of your grade. So that means I'm dropping 1 unit test. We will have quizzes. A lot of your quiz grades will be the skills review. So this very first thing that we're going to do today, talk about today, is a quiz. And that will count 20, your quiz average will count 20%. And I drop a few quizzes at the end. Then your homework average, that's going to be the homework in my stat lab. That average of all your homework assignments also counts 20%. And I will drop a few homework grades at the end of the semester as well. There will be a comprehensive final at the end of the semester that will be proctored. It will be based on the chapter tests. Comprehensive means it will cover everything that we did in the semester. It's 20 questions, and we will take that second, like the second week in December. Okay, any questions before I move on? I'm looking for hands. All right, let's look at the next page. This is my assignment sheet that shows the entire semester and what we're going to do every day. I will have for you, though, I have a daily assignment checklist planner for you. That's what we're going to look at next. And it will tell you, I'm going to have one for each unit. Sorry. I'll have one of those for each unit. We'll take a look at that in a minute, and it's going to tell you on a daily basis what you should be doing every day. So go to the next page, and there's the end of the assignment sheet. And then there's some additional information down here that I don't really need to go over right now, but you should read it. And if you have any questions about it, please let me know. And then here's the last page. It's mainly talking about dropping. And I would like to point out here, this right here, it says you must, hold on just a second. Sorry. It's been a while since I did my online stuff. You must initiate the procedure to drop a course. So I'm not going to drop anybody for non-attendance. Now, I may contact you, I may write you a lot of emails, but I'm not going to actually drop you for non-attendance. I may suggest that that may be the wise course of action for you, but I'm not personally going to take care of that. You're going to be responsible for dropping the course if you feel like you need to. Okay, any questions about my syllabus before we look at one of the first checklist planner? Okay, let's look at this. So if you go on Blackboard, oh, and I did want to show you that on Blackboard for this course, and I'm going to pull that up in just a minute. I'm going to share my screen with you and pull that up. But if you go to Blackboard under Lessons, there's a folder for each unit, and within each folder, there will be a checklist planner. And this is the checklist planner for Unit 1. So I want to point out a few things here. Notice it says, and I'm going to read this to you. So if any of you can't see this well, then just try to, listen as well as you can to what I'm saying. But this, I suggest, highly recommend that you print this out. Again, it's found under Lessons in Blackboard in the Unit 1 folder. And at the top, it says, when working on homework assignments, copy the given information and the number of the problem, show all your work, highlight any problems you'd like to go over more in class so that you'll be able to ask those questions the next class. Print this planner out to help you stay on track. And you'll notice that I have here, I provided a little thing here so that if you watch the welcome video, you can check that off. And it's not letting me do that. Let's see. There. Print off and read the ICR. We just read it. Watch Blackboard Collaborate instructions. So if you want to learn more about how to do the different settings, you should watch that. Here's the course ID again for my Stat Lab. I also have the link in Blackboard in the left menu, so you can just click on that to go to Pearson My Lab and Mastering. And then you'll need this course ID to get into the course. And please watch this video here on how to show work. On some problems, I will be asking you to show work, especially on tests. And there's a way to do that in my Math Lab. So even if you've used my Math Lab or my Stat Lab before, you probably haven't had to show work before. So you might want to do that. You'll see when we get into my Stat Lab, you will see the due dates on there. Generally, I have due dates set at a week after I taught that section. That's my general rule. And but as far as getting counted present, if you were wanting to get counted present for doing homework, that needs to be done before the next class time. That just has to do with attendance. But as far as being able to do the problems over and over again, you can do them as many times as you want to up until the due date, which will usually be a week from when I taught it. Notice a couple of other things, and this is why you should always print off the checklist for each unit so that you can see the things that you need to do. So notice I said these are things you should do before class starts. Now, if you haven't done them, obviously it's too late to do it before class starts, but you can still do it today. And then there are some things I've already assigned in my math lab that you can do. Some things are for a grade and some things are not. And in general, and I'll show you this in a minute, the things that definitely count as a grade always are the ones if it has a Q in front of it, it's a quiz. If it has HW in front of it, it's homework. If it has T in front of it, it's a test. And those things always count towards your grade. If it has, so those count. Those three things count. So it'll say Q, homework, test. Those things count. If it says R in front of it, that just means it's a link to a recording for, like this recording today will be a link that I provide in my math lab. So that's what that will be. That's not for a grade, but it can count as attendance if you watch it. See, there's some, M is not for a grade. M is a media assignment, and that just means, and those are not required. That's just a quick way for you to get to like the PowerPoint or video or other helps that are provided in my stat lab. So these top things are for a grade. Those are the things you need to make sure that you do. So today, look at the things for today, Monday, August 24th. And this Unit 1 thing, it has everything you need to do for the whole unit. So today, attend class. Those of you who are here, you should put a check there. And I put at 10:30 and 12. Kendra, do you have a question? Okay. The very first assignment that we're going to talk about that you need to try to complete before Wednesday is the Chapter 1 Skills Review Quiz. And I'm going to do some examples from that with you in the 12 o'clock session today. And then identify questions from your homework for the next class. So, and notice I put a little place here. So because that one counts as a grade, I just left a little space there. So after you do it, you can put the grade. Oh, okay, I made 100 on that. All right. Let's look at the second page. So you see I tell you what we're going to do for every day here. And then let's look at the second page because I want to point out to you about the test. And we'll talk more about tests when this gets closer. Plus, I'm going to put a practice, kind of little short practice test on with Proctorio so we can all get used to using that, know how it's going to go. So test 1 will be given online through my stat lab, but you're going to access it through under tests in Blackboard. And the test will be proctored. And I give out the password for the test I'll always give out the password for the test in the class preceding. So you see right here on Wednesday where it says review for test 1, that's going to be in the last part of the session. And I will give out the password at that time for the test. So if you aren't there for that, you will need to watch the recording of that review in order to get the password. And so I will provide this, a checklist planner like this for every unit. So you will know every day what you're supposed to do. Any questions? Let's go to Blackboard. I'm going to go to Blackboard. Let me see if I can. So I'm going to unshare this. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to try to share my screen with you. So what I need to know, can somebody turn on their mic and tell me, because now I see hands or nothing. Can you tell me if you can see this screen that says TCC, Tarrant County College at the top?
Yes.
Yes.
Terrific. Okay. This is what you should see when you go into My TCC and click on this course. I'm hoping you guys have already seen this. So, now remember, by the way, I can hear clicks, but you're going to have to turn on your microphone and talk right now. I can't see hands go up. Okay, so this is what Course Home is. If you click on Course Home, this is what you get. It's a bunch of general information about the course. And then on Start Here, if you click on Start Here, you see there's some information, there's some videos about how to use Blackboard Collaborate. There's attachment. There's a link to get to my ICR. And then there's a welcome video. Hopefully some of you already watched that. If not, you're not missing a whole bunch, but maybe make you laugh. Hope not with me, kind of at me. Okay, then I have attendance policy and expectations, which I've already talked about, but I have it here in case you forget. I have the syllabus. Again, I have that in lots of different places, so you'd click on that link. I have announcements, and there's my welcome announcement, and I am going to see if I can move this, if it will let me move. Nah, let me see. Okay, I'm just going to move that up. Underneath the welcome announcement is an announcement about how to navigate this course. And basically what I'm going over right now is what's here. It tells you what's in every single thing that I've got in the left menu. So this is my communication device for you. This left menu in Blackboard, that almost anything you want to know about this is what you're going to find here. For online class meetings, that's what you should have gone to. Hopefully, I imagine that's how you got to this, is by going there. If you click on lessons, notice I've got unit 1, 2, and 3. There will be a unit 4 and a final exam folder eventually. But under unit 1, I'm going to click on the unit 1 folder. And there's the checklist planner for unit 1, and you would click on that link provided to pull it up. And these other things, I'm just going to share this with you guys. I'm trying to get certified to teach online. Kind of funny, huh? Since I'm teaching online, but I have not ever taught distance learning like for Connect. So some of these recorded lectures you're seeing here are things that I'm putting up because I'm making them for my certification thing. And so I'm just going ahead and throwing them in this course as well. I don't require you to watch them, but it's some extra stuff if these are things that you have trouble with. And so that was, remember, this was under lessons, under unit 1. Tests this is where you'll go when you're ready to take a test. And there's some information about Proctorio. We'll talk more about that later. On my Stat Lab information, and I'm going to click on this just to show you. I have the link there for my Stat Lab. So, and then I have some information about showing work. If I click on the link from my Stat Lab, this goes to the sign-in. If you have used my Stat Lab or my Math Lab before, you can click on Sign In, and it will take you to, and you can just log in and then enroll in a new course. If you have never used this before, then you need to go to Register as a student. I'm going to do just a little bit of this. And you're going to say, okay. It's going to ask you for the course ID, and that's going to be that Haley, I can't remember what the rest of it is, guys. Haley, it's on the ICR. It's in a lot of Haley 61891. wonder if this will let me type. Bring up the keyboard. No, it won't. And I'm not going to attach to a keyboard right now. So you'd put in that course ID and then you'd hit continue, and then it's going to help you set up this access. At one point, you'll see after you set up your password and everything, you will see a page with 4 colored folders on it where it's asking you to pay or to enter your access code. But if you look down below that, there will be a link where you can choose 14-day free access. So you can get started right away, even if you're not ready to pay. And if you have any questions about that, please stay after class today, and I'll be glad to help you get registered in my stat lab. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this, and let's see. Then there, under where it says My Grades, that's where, I don't have any grades entered for you yet, but that's where you'll go to see your grades that I've entered in Blackboard. Your grades in my math lab, you'll be able to see all the time. And then let me talk about this for a second. Let's see. Yeah, no. I don't know if I'm still sharing my screen. Am I still sharing my screen? Can you guys see?
I can see your Blackboard.
Yeah, we can see the Blackboard.
Okay, that's what I want. Thank you. Okay, so down here, can you see in the left menu where it says South Campus Online Math Tutoring?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, when you click on that, I have information and a video on how to access our online math tutoring for South Campus. But I also have under extra credit opportunities, I want to point that out to you guys. And I'm actually allowing you to earn extra credit by participating by joining the online math tutoring organization and spending some time with one of the tutors. So if you're interested in earning 10 points on one of the unit tests, this is a way you can do it. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that particular thing. And let me see. Okay. That will be fine. So I think I'll check roll real quick. It's 11:22. I'm going to check roll, and then I'll talk about a few more things. Let me see. What else? Let me see if there was anything else. I think that's pretty much it except for questions. So let me check roll. And I did see that someone had to leave, so I'll count them present real quick. That was Crystal. Okay. So when I call your name, could you raise your hand? So we're going to practice raising our hand again. So everybody put their hand down. And when I call your name, and also correct me, turn on your microphone and correct me. If you have a camera, I have it set where you can turn on the camera if you want to. You don't have to. It's not really necessary. But if you're going to have trouble sending me a picture of a photo ID by email, then I will need to meet with you live and see you. Okay? So when I call your name, please raise your hand and turn on your mic and correct me if I say your name wrong. Samira Arvizu. And I'm going to look at these. I'm going to look at the names that I see here and count them. Alyssa Garcia. Ariana Saavedra. Remember to correct me if I say something wrong, okay? I hate calling somebody the wrong name. Leave your hand up until I'm done also. So Alyssa, leave your hand up. There you go. Cecil Leonard. So raise your hand and leave it up. There you go. Jacob Lee. Kayla Hernandez. Christina Cameron, Luis Garcia, Natalie Ramirez, Stephanie Garza, Temperance Donahue, Vanessa Pacheco. Okay, then I see a caller, but I don't see a name. If I did not say your name, could you please turn on your mic and tell me your name? Oh, Kundra, I see your hand up. Kundra, are you there?
Can you hear me okay? This is the interpreter. So that caller is probably the interpreter on the line.
Okay. Okay.
For Kendra, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to call out. Is there anybody whose name I did not call? If I didn't call your name, please turn on your microphone and tell me who you are. All right, perfect. You guys can lower your hands now. Temperance, you can put your hand down. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for attending this one. I know going over all this stuff at the beginning is kind of boring. So we have about 5 minutes left before the end of this first session. At noon today, I will be going over examples for that very first assignment that's going to be due. Well, it won't be due until next Monday, but I will expect you to have your questions ready on Wednesday at 10:30. So does anybody have a question that you'd like for me to address before we break? And you can leave the session open during the break, or you can close it. I will stop the recording during the break.
I was just wondering if you had our homework assignment already on My Math. I just saw the media.
Yeah, I have not assigned the chapter 1 skills review yet. I will do that during the break.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I'll try too. So if you want to get started on it and see what questions you have, you'll be able to do that. Okay? Thank you for that question, Christina. Anybody else? Okay, well, we can break early. And then I can, if I need to have a talk to somebody, we need to discuss something, that we can certainly do that. So consider this 30 minutes as kind of part of my office hours, but it's office hours just for this class, not for anybody else. And then at noon, we will get back together and talk about that first assignment. And I'll go ahead and assign it. So you guys, if you want to start working on it, you can. All right. So I'll see you at 12. I'm going to stop the recording.